Hey, welcome in. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to talk about these energies coming at the Twin Flame Collective for the week ahead. We have a culminating transit every single day this week. The highlights, though, is Mercury is going to go back into Scorpio retrograde. We do have the new moon in Scorpio. We also have Venus in a trine to the North Node this week. And after the new moon, we are going to have the sun entering into Sagittarius. And then we close off the week on Sunday with Mars in a square to the North Node. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Laura. Hit that subscribe button down below. But let's talk about these energies before we dig deeper in with the cards. And so we kind of start off the week with digging into some truth, right? With Mercury going back into Scorpio, this isn't going to leave any room for secrets to stay hidden, is what this is telling me. We also have Venus in a trine to the North Node the same day that Mercury goes back into Scorpio. And so this is the second trine. If you remember a while back, I talked about a trifold sequence of events connected to Venus in a trine to the North Node. So this is the second trine to the North Node, and the third one will actually happen in May of 2026 on May 22nd. So the first trine happened back in August. Look to what was happening in your life back in August. Venus rules finances, beauty, self-worth, self-value. The North Node is the collective karmic pathway right now. And so with the second trine, we do have an opportunity to alchemize a lesson, I want to say, connected to self-worth and self-value. And with Mercury going back into Scorpio, this is all about truth, right? It's digging into the truth and going into this new moon where Mercury will be loosely aspecting the new moon on Thursday. We do have an opportunity. This week really feels like a huge crossroads moment. It feels like a crossroads where we are being offered an opportunity to bring balance into the twin flame relationship, but it's going to require a lot of rigorous honesty. It's going to require a lot of deep heart-to-heart conversations. And I do feel the masculine is struggling. The masculine really is struggling in moving forward. And I do feel there's a fated shift come the end of the week, but the masculine is being challenged. And it's very clear that we are at this moment in time where I feel the feminine really is stepping deeper into self-worth and self-value. And if the masculine can't follow the feminine's lead, I do feel a soulmate may possibly be presented to the divine feminine. But let's dig in with some cards. Let's see what the cards have to say. If you would like to go deeper with some astrology, I do have 30% off all of my astrological sessions. This is a great deal. The sale is going to go all the way through the 29th, this whole Mercury retrograde. So if you are curious about a connection, if you are curious about your purpose, your path, or just want to see how the current transits are affecting your personal birth chart, now is the perfect time to dig into the astrological aspects. But let's dig in with the cards, guys. Let's see what the cards have to say today. The spread this week really is talking about, I want to say, unmistakable expansion, spiritual, emotional, relational expansion. The first card out is the Sagittarius card, which is all about expansion. And I do feel this aligns perfectly with the sun entering into Sagittarius on the 21st of November. And so Sagittarius is mutable fire. It's wild. It's instinctive. It's curious. It's honest. Trust me, I know a lot about Sagittarius. Both of my daughters are Sagittarius. And so Sagittarius is honest, right? And it is the representation of the centaur, half human, half divine, which does mirror our own half human and half spirit identity on this twin flame path. And so as we begin Sagittarius season, the collective is asked to think bigger, to dream bolder, and to use this spark of energy to create. Sagittarius also comes with a warning though, right? Just because you see it doesn't mean you have to say it. You lie to a Sagittarius and you're done for, right? And so with Mercury retrograde dipping out of Sagittarius and back into Scorpio, I just feel communication is going to be very sharp this week. It's going to be reactive, and I feel it's going to be emotionally loaded. Honesty matters this week, okay? Honesty matters, but honesty doesn't have to wound people, right? It doesn't have to be mean. We can say what is true and not be destructive, okay? And so Sagittarius season is reminding us that our spiritual path is undeniably tied to the quality of our relationships, right? And this week, I want to say clarity is going to begin with asking, why am I connected to the people that I'm connected to? Is it meaningful or is it habitual, okay? Because the next card out is the sixth house card, which is all about sustainability. Virgo naturally rules the sixth house. There is also like a Four of Cups quality here, and it also did come out with the closing message oracle cards as well. And so this is highlighting, I want to say, sustainability, our daily routines, our work, our mind-body connection, and there could be a challenge surfacing this week. I want to say worry can masquerade as productivity, okay? And when we overthink, we give the illusion that we're doing something, when in reality, we are drifting further from our actual goals. And so something in the collective, I want to say, is becoming unsustainable, whether it's a third dimensional job, a relationship dynamic, a schedule, or even a health habit or a health routine. This week for the twins, we are being asked to really have a clear-eyed review of our environment, right? Is your day job keeping you from your real dream? Are you overgiving or are you overworking to avoid feeling or the discomfort of feeling? Have you avoided looking at something that has become dysfunctional and now you've normalized it? I want to say work smarter, not harder, because sustain what is actually going to sustain you, okay? So then the last card out was the retrograde card, and it came out with the Cancer card. And so retrogrades are all about review. We've got a lot of planets in retrograde, but the good news is Saturn and Neptune will soon be stationing direct. I believe Saturn stations direct before the end of the month, and Neptune will be stationing direct early December. But these two cards together, I do feel it is connected more so to Jupiter retrograde, right? Because we got the Cancer card out. And there are a couple transits to Jupiter this week. Jupiter will start off the week in a trine to the Sun, and it will close off later in the week with a trine to Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. And so this speaks of emotional excavation. And I do feel connected to the divine masculine, connected to codependencies, maybe addictions, patterns. I feel devil energy, emperor coming through. Now you could be dealing with a masculine who is a Cancer. It doesn't have to be, but I do feel this is connected to Jupiter retrograde and Cancer a little bit here, okay? And I do feel it is spotlighting the divine masculine collective, especially Mercury retrograde and Jupiter retrograde. I think it's stirring all of these deep emotional waters. And so there's going to be decisions. There's going to be healing conversations, emotional balancing, truth-telling. And these opportunities aren't going to come without friction. I do feel there's friction, right? The Cancer energy here, I want to say, is pointing to family wounds, childhood patterns, emotional suppression, and the Cancer energy of the hard shell, right? Hard shell, soft on the inside, hard on the outside, right? And this could be a dynamic that many masculines are still holding on to. There is definitely a masculine energy here coming through that has been stuffing down emotions. I want to say holding on to past betrayals, replaying old regrets, possibly even over-identifying with some old wounds. And I do feel defending himself to the point of isolation. I feel a masculine here, very much isolated in these energies. And I feel, what do I feel? I feel residual anger coming through here. And for many, this is like a tendency to emotionally hide inside of a shell that feels really protective. But when we do that, it actually blocks real connection, right? And so this week, I want to say the masculine is being asked to grow a backbone. And to do that, he's going to have to soften that exterior shell. He's not going to be able to harden it. I feel emotional maturity really is the lesson coming through this week for a lot of the masculines. I think that cycle of avoidance has really reached its limit this week. But the past keeps coming back up. The past keeps being resurfaced. And I think the masculine feels like he's being punished. But it's coming up so we can finally reach that resolution, okay? Bottom of the deck, conjunction alliance. I feel a massive King of Swords energy here. There's a realignment of soul level allies is what I feel. We see the geese. They're migrating. I'm in Canada. We love Canadian geese over here, but they have gone. They flew the coop for the winter. But underneath this, with the King of Swords undertone, there's mental clarity, I feel. There's truth. There's alignment here. The masculine, I think, is surrounded by a lot of people where he has to shrink himself. And this could be a social group. It could be a partner, or it could be just a family system that really has encouraged conformity over authenticity, because the King of Swords is asking for authenticity. And the astrology of this week really is unmistakably pushing him towards truth, pushing him towards soul allies, and releasing any social obligations. There is a powerful realignment happening here, I feel, and a lot of truth is breaking open. So let's break down the tarot spread, because if you noticed when I shuffled the cards and pulled them, we have a lot of reversals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 reversals out of 9 cards, okay? Yeah, out of actually 10 cards. We have a bonus card. But we'll break it down row by row. I just feel this top row, Knight of Coins reversed, Ace of Cups reversed, Page of Wands. This is a poor investment. This is a really poor investment. This is stagnation. This is emotional blocks. Something here has become very stuck. And there's like either a closed heart here or an emotional overflow. It could be one of two sides of the coin there. And I just feel there's a spark here trying to return, and possibly communication beginning. I also feel this ties into Venus in a sextile to the North Node early in the week, where I feel the masculine is being pushed by spirit to plant a new seed. And I feel there's hesitation due to maybe past immaturity here. Many masculines fear investing their heart again, right? They fear that because they've repeated so many cycles of starting fresh without actually healing first. And so I think this is actually very scary for them to start with an open heart. Let's talk about the middle row. We got the 8 of Wands reversed. This is a direct link to Mercury Retrograde in Sagittarius. You can see the Mercury symbol and the Sagittarius. And I feel there's like blocks here. Definitely blocks as Mercury goes back into Scorpio to dig into the truth. This is really the core of the week ahead with the energies. And so Mercury Retrograde chaos is what I want to say with this one. Blocked passion, a delayed new beginning, and a silence here. Silence is going to hold the truth this week. So communication issues are going to arise. That's for sure. There's going to be misfires. There's going to be delays. There's going to be misunderstandings. But spiritually, I want to say the channel is bursting, okay? Dreams, synchronicities, intuition, signs, inner guidance, all of that is going to be loud, loud, loud this week. The High Priestess card is, I feel, the loudest card in this row because she's the only card upright. This is saying stop seeking external advice. The answers are always going to come from within. So go into the darkness willingly. We have to go into the shadow willingly. So a lot of shadow work this week, okay? Let's talk about the bottom row. We get the Wheel of Fortune. So Jupiter energy, again, divine timing. We get the Emperor reversed, the Palace of Swords reversed. So there's like a Palace of Lies here. And the Two of Coins in reverse. So once again, all these reversals, but the Wheel of Fortune is upright. So there's destined change here. And this is unavoidable change. And so this really is the fall, I want to say, of the masculine, the ego death of the masculine. And all of these hidden truths, this blocked communication is collapsing. I feel the imbalance is finally collapsing. The masculine ego cycle that has been active for years is being dismantled. And there's going to be truths rising to the surface. This avoidance just can no longer continue, is what this bottom row is showing me today. I just feel there's like no more continuing the cycle of avoidance, the cycle of lies, the cycle of dishonesty. Let's talk about the bottom of the deck. Seven of Swords. Oh, Seven of Cups reversed, 7-7. Oh, we get the Queen of Swords reversed, and then we get the Chariot reversed. Okay, so big energies on the bottom of the deck. This is kind of what we don't see happening below the surface. This is the masculine hide in the heartbreak, right? Piggybacking off of one relationship to the next and avoiding actually digging into the heartbreak, healing the heart. The Seven of Cups reversed is the truth revealed. This is the shattering of the illusions for sure. And the Queen of Swords reversed, I feel this is the feminine. We're cutting to the facts. This is not about the feelings. This is about the facts. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I don't care about the feelings, right? And so there's stagnant energy forcing a course correction is what I feel. And so basically this week is not about feelings. It's not about feelings. It is about the facts, okay? So let's talk about the closing oracle messages because I feel a major Hanged Man frequency coming through with the change card. And so it says, the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. So we are being asked to shift perspectives this week. Change never stops, right? Change is constant. The seasons change, cycles open and close. Energy is constantly breathing in and breathing out of our lives, right? Change is the only constant in our life. And so I feel this is a week to ask ourselves, do I resist change or do I embrace it? How have I changed since my awakening on this twin flame journey, right? I think a lot of us have changed a lot. So we are closing out a 9-year cycle. We are in a 9-year. So what chapter is closing for you as we inch closer to the end of the year? And what new experience do you want to call in, or what new experience is calling your name? Because transparency and surrender does equal freedom, okay? The bottom of the deck, we get the Universal Love card. It's a 44 card. So we felt that up here with the sustainability. So a reevaluation of what is sustainable in our day-to-day life. I feel an activation, right? Releasing the stuckness. The card says the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole existence itself. Love is actually not an emotion. It is a frequency. We are made of it. We are made of love. It is the frequency we came here for, right? When we align with the frequency of love, real love, universal love, we align with everything that is meant for us. We attract truth, we attract growth, we attract our divine counterpart without force, fear, or attachment. So the Universal Love card this week is asking us, can we open up to the feeling of love this week? Can you open up to the feeling of love this week? Can you remember that you are here to move beyond the wounds? And can you hold the frequency of the reunion of the love that you actually desire? because the twin flame journey is an activation of love. It's an activation of love within us. There's nothing outside of us that we need to chase to have this love inside of us. There's nothing outside of us that can give us that love of frequency within us ourselves. And so I feel this week is a week of returning to truth, a week of empowerment, a week of opening up the heart chakra and doing some deep emotional healing. I really do feel that. And so I do feel we have the capacity to open up to deep unconditional love, but we do have to empower ourselves. So that is what I have for the week ahead. Stay tuned for a breakdown of all of these transits day to day. If you would like to go further with me with a reading, please check out the webpage link below. If you would like to book in an astrological session, use the coupon code retrograde at the checkout, all capital letters, retrograde in all capital letters, and that will get you 30% off a twin flame reading, a synastry reading, a transit reading, a birth chart reading. Perfect time to book in with the retrograde and all of this truth seeking. And also, please remember, I do have an astrology monthly membership. If you would like to become a monthly member and learn astrology from me for a fraction of the price of my one-on-one astrology mentorship, then go check it out. I'd love to have you join us in this soulful community of astrology learning. Have a great week ahead, everybody, and I will see you all again tomorrow.